Here's the deal. I completely fucking hate just about everything about narrating and uploading battles right now, and I don't know if I'm ever going to like it again. But I did make an obligation to play in the GBA, and because of that, I'm going to at least upload matches. I might just put music to most of them, but whenever I want to talk about one or play against a good friend of mine like I did this week, I will talk about what I did, why I did it, and do the thing, basically. So here we are. We got Cooper, the Utah Jasmine, and he brought a completely different team to what I expected. I expected to see Suicune, and in fact that's the only reason I brought Gothitelle, to like trick it a scarf, and that was it, and then it could die. And you know, he doesn't have that. And I was really afraid of him bringing Hydreigon. I was really afraid of him bringing his Mega Lopunny, because I don't really have a lot to deal with those things, but I guess fortunately he didn't, and now I just get to deal with you know, whatever he's got, which is certainly going to be a good team, no doubt. I actually have Sludge Wave on this Mega Swampert specifically for Whimsicott, but I don't actually get to use that. I led with Swampert to try and Mega up early to get Swift Swim later on and to set up rocks, but I'm too afraid of Hidden Power Grass, which, surprise, surprise, he actually winds up having. So now I kind of have a free chance to Spore, but I kind of don't, because he's got Ferrothorn, he's got Whimsicott, but I'm going to go for it anyway, because this Amoonguss actually has Hidden Power Fire if it wants to go into Ferrothorn, and it actually has Sludge Bomb if you wanted to go into Whimsicott, so neither one can really stick around for too long. And before the game, I actually almost brought a different Amoonguss, one without HP Fire, so I'm kind of really glad that I brought this one, because this Ferrothorn would have gotten a lot more hazards up had I not. My backup plan for dealing with Ferrothorn was tricking it a Scarf and then taunting it, so that it struggles to death with Gothitelle, of course, but didn't wind up having to do that because Cooper inexplicably leaves Ferrothorn in for 3 Hidden Power Fires. I get he could have been afraid of a Spore, but he could have gone to Chansey. It's really not clear why he did that, and it doesn't really matter because I do have fighting type moves on both my Swift Swimmers, so it's not really a huge deal. But Gallade comes in, and Gallade's a problem, and I spent 30 seconds thinking, damn, I can't take a Mega Gallade close combat, I can't take a Mega Gallade Zen Headbutt, what am I going to do? And then I realized it's not as Mega, so it's like, alright, Politoed can take one hit. It's especially defensive Toad, so it can't take it too well, but after that I can just go to Gothitelle. It's trapped, I can get a Psyshock, and this guy is essentially useless because it was meant for dealing with Ferrothorn, it was meant for dealing with Suicune, and both of those things either weren't brought or are dead, so this thing is totally expendable. He gets a knockoff, which I live at 1, which isn't really a big deal, but kind of funny how Gothitelle lives at 1, and then just Shadow Sneaks finishes me off, and I guess we're kind of tied up at 5-5 early on. I have a couple options. I could go to Kingdra, or I can go to Kabutops, or I could even go to Swampert, but I think I saw Leaf Blade, so Swampert's not really an option. He doesn't really have a great switch-in. I think Kabutops 2 it KOs everything, and he decides to just lose his Chansey right off the bat. I didn't like the damage roll that I got with my first Waterfall, so I felt like I had to go for Superpower, because standard Chansey runs 0 HP, and if Cooper really wanted to, he could run max HP, max defense, and maybe it could have lived. So I just wanted to secure the KO, and in comes Whimsicott. I keep wanting to call it Aerofoon. I'm afraid of Stun Spore, so I go to my complete counter of Whimsicott in Amoonguss, and that's just a free switch for him out into Gallade, and I really, really, really should have gone for Spore. I don't know why I didn't. That was a huge blunder, and now Gallade is going to get a Freeze and Headbutt off. I'm expecting to die to this hit, honestly, but luckily I live at 8. I managed to get my Spore off regardless, and my rain is gone, so I got to set it back up while I have a free turn, and after that, you know, my options are looking pretty limited again. I'm hoping for a long sleep so that maybe after I go to Amoonguss I can get another Giga Drain off, and then all he's got left is Ice Weak guys after this, so Kingdra Specs Ice Beam should be able to go on a bit of a tear. However, he wakes up immediately and he kills Ferrothorn right off, or not Ferrothorn, Amoonguss right off after his Leaf Blade, which, keep in mind that he used Leaf Blade there. How to use Zen Headbutt, how to use Close Combat. Amoonguss goes down, I think, and that might come into play later. Maybe I'm foreshadowing, maybe I'm not. Anyway, Kingdra comes in. I'm expecting him to go for Shadow Sneak, and I'm not expecting it to hurt too bad, so I really want to go for Ice Beam, but I'm expecting him to be Assault Vest, so at that point I'm not even sure 2 would have killed, so I didn't want to take that many Shadow Sneaks. I just wanted to freaking kill the thing because it's still really threatening, and I knew I'd be able to switch out into Swampert and just die to a Giga Drain and then go back into Kingdra and just start firing off Ice Beams, because all he's got left is Whimsicott, he's got Donphan, and he's got Zapdos. I really wanted to get rocks up to break Donphan's Sturdy, and actually Donphan having Sturdy is going to be a huge problem going forward, because all I've got left is my 2 Swift Summers, both of which are KO'd by Earthquake, and Politoed, which is also KO'd by Earthquake, so it's just time to Ice Beam. He decides Zapdos is his most useless thing, and honestly at this point I agree with that assessment, and thankfully I wasn't actually counting Rain turns, but Rain stays up this turn and it goes off this turn. If he'd gone for a fighting or psychic move against the against whatever I friggin' saved, and when he Leaf Bladed Amoonguss, Rain wouldn't have worn off until the turn after this, and I would have had to sacrifice Kabutops instead of Politoed to this Earthquake or Seed Bomb or whatever was coming in, simply because like I need to get Rain up to have any kind of chance. And now because Rain went up, I've got a clear shot at victory. Kabutops can come in and just fire off Earthquakes, and then Sturdy will be broken, Whimsicott will be dead, and then it's just a cleanup with Kingdra. It didn't really matter what he did in the end, it just came down to Rain wearing off at the perfect time for me to come out with the win. So kind of a weird team selection on his behalf, I think. I don't know why he didn't bring Prankster Stuns for. I don't know. I was afraid of that the whole game. He didn't have it. Like that, there's nothing I can do to control that. Offensive Donphan, I think, because it's got at least 3 attacks, Seed Bomb, probably Earthquake, and Ice Shard. So just a really odd team selection, I thought, but it almost worked for him. If he had just gone for Zen Headbutt against whatever the fuck was in and killed Amoonguss as it came in, rather than giving it a free turn, the game was his, because like Kingdra couldn't do it on its own. Kingdra would have not lived an Earthquake at that point. Earthquake would have definitely done 80 points or whatever. So good game, Cooper. It's good to get the first win out of the way, and on to bigger and better things.